Good morning and welcome to the Way of Life weekly check-in. I'm Michael Schechter and we are now in week 2 of the Way of Life program. And again, I love this program because I think it teaches us so many useful tools that can improve our relationship with food. But this week we talk about the purpose of the plate, and we talk about building a balanced plate that includes food that not only nourishes you, but also can protect you, satisfy you, and leave you full. So the educational materials this week are about building a purposeful plate and talking about nutrient dense and calorie dense foods. Remember, we like to look for foods that are nutrient dense and maybe have a little less calories. Calories are sort of the springboard to what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about, at least in your mind, having some kind of calorie budget throughout the day. Calories are important, but again, we are trying to stress a healthy relationship with food that at the end of the day satisfies you, as well as leads to a healthy situation in your life. So again, we hope you're tracking. We hope that you're using all the tools that you have at your disposal. Don't forget, we have registered dietitians and health coaches who are ready to help you if you feel like you're stalling out or if you need some more direction or ideas. The handouts this week, again, talk about strategies for putting together elements of a meal that provide you protection from heart disease and cancer, nourish you, and taste great. So today we're going to spend a few minutes talking about calories. And we've heard about calories forever. We are probably aware of what calories are. Calories are simply the units of energy we get from our food. Our food, fats, protein, and carbohydrates all can be burned by our body to help us expend calories in different ways. Also, excess calories are stored as a mechanism for life. So energy intake includes all our food, right? That's on one side of this equation. And on the other side, energy output, our exercise, our digestion, our resting metabolism, that makes up what we call our metabolic rate. So metabolism and energy output are the same things. Energy output is the sum of all the energy, all the calories our body uses. And it's divided into 3 components. Resting metabolic rate, that's the energy just used when we're sitting around resting. This is about the same for most people. And then the second part is the active energy expenditure, physical activity. So this is the part I'm going to talk to you a little bit about today as we move toward week 3 and talking about health and motion and exercise next week. This active energy expenditure, this physical activity, is the element that's most under your control. And this comes from a few different things, but physical activity from exercise is the key component. And then any spontaneous physical activity throughout the day. So as part of the Way of Life program, I'd like to encourage you to try to move as much as possible. The third element of energy output is simply thermogenic effect of food, and that's really the energy that goes into digesting the food and so forth. So there's 3 different situations that can arise when we talk about calorie intake and energy expenditure. One is that we're in total balance. The calories we take in are the same as our daily energy expenditure. And when that happens, generally we stay the same weight. If we burn more calories than we take in, we experience weight loss. And generally, when we lose weight, it's because our body is using our fat to make up for some of that energy we don't take in. So it's important to understand that, if we have burn more calories than we take in, obviously we lose weight. Likewise, the situation where we gain weight is when we are taking in more calories than we burn. So we understand all that. That's something that you probably knew right when you tuned in. But again, I think it's worth going over. So you may ask yourself, how many calories do I need in a day? We hear different numbers. Now, certainly our registered dietitians always encourage people to be, in the neighborhood of 1,500 calories a day. Sometimes we can talk about, for smaller women, going down to 1,200, but really there are certain mechanisms that kick in when we go too low on the calories in a given day. So we definitely want to have, in the neighborhood of 1,500 calories a day, but that still leaves a lot of room open for interpretation. At least 1,500 is 3,000 too many. What would my specific calorie budget look like? And if you're interested in that, there's a wonderful site here through the USDA. This is called a dietary reference indicator. This is for healthcare professionals, but anybody can use it. But if you follow the link on the screen here, you'll come to a homepage that looks like this. From that homepage, you can determine your daily requirements, including how many calories a day makes sense for you. And you do this through entering a few different variables. So you enter your gender, you enter your age. Males tend to burn more calories than females. Younger people tend to burn more calories than older people. And again, bigger people have bigger basal metabolism. So those all figure into things. So I put all those things in, and then there's a component called energy level, and I have to pick my energy level. And there's 4 different categories, ranging from completely sedentary to very, very active, 45 to 60 minutes of vigorous activity a day. And let me show you the differences that makes in terms of the calorie requirements for a guy like me. Now, I'm 61. I weigh about 180, 185. There's my body mass index for everybody to see. That's a great way to start the morning. But anyway, let's take a look at the different calorie requirements that I would have based on my level of activity. If I put in that I'm sedentary, I am recommended to have about 2,300 calories a day, 2,363 to maintain my weight. However, if I'm active, which is 60 minutes of moderate activity a day, that goes up to 2,933. So 600 calories difference just by the amount of movement I have. And if I could ever find a way that I could become very, very active on a daily basis, wow, I would go up to 3,458 calories a day. So you can see right here, now that's daily. So when you start talking about multiplying this by 7 and getting a weekly difference in calories, you can really see how activity plays a huge role in your metabolism, and why part of any reasonable lifestyle program encourages exercise. And don't forget, there are so many other benefits to exercise. It helps us with our stress level. It maintains our bone density, and it helps us recover from injury faster. So again, I think this is a great lesson. You guys can all go in and sort of begin to establish a calorie budget in your head. Remember, Way of Life, we don't count calories, but we want to make sure that you feel satisfied, but you have to have some references when it comes to the amount of food. So just to illustrate the gender difference here, if we keep everything else the same and change my gender to female, the calorie requirements do go down by a little bit. Again, that's just to illustrate the lesson that there are differences in genders when it comes to metabolism. As we move through things and as we try to stick to a calorie budget, there'll be undoubtedly times when we feel hungry. So I want to talk a little bit about managing hunger and the 4 Ds of hunger management. This is something that I originally used when I worked with people on tobacco cessation. The 4 Ds in terms of reducing a craving for food or a feeling of hunger. Water is wonderful. So we'll be talking about that as we move on, but drinking water and always having a non-sweetened beverage by your side is a great idea in terms of establishing a healthy lifestyle. Learning how to deep breathe. This is a wonderful thing, and we're going to spend a morning later on relaxation strategies, and belly breathing is a key component as we teach ourselves to be more mindful and to relax. And belly breathing really just means as you inspire, you push out that belly like a balloon and you hold it. And then as you exhale, you are using those core abdominal muscles to push out. And generally, we talk about doing slow, deep, rhythmic breathing. The other strategies that we talk about are understanding the source of your hunger. You know, we talked about the cognitive triad last week about how feelings influence our thoughts and thoughts influence our behaviors. A lot of times we feel hunger out of emotional needs rather than physiologic. So one of the things that's helpful for people is to understand where that hunger is emanating from, and then deal with it. And then the last D is do something else. So again, exercise, organize, meditate, call friends are all great strategies as you work on relaxing and reducing hunger and reducing craving. So I hope this was helpful for you today. The last thing I'm going to remind you about is another quick advertisement for exercise. As we move into week 3 of Way of Life, week 3 is called Health in Motion, and we're going to talk about establishing healthy exercise patterns. Remember, we have health coaches here at Be Well Solutions who are happy to work with you on workout strategies. But when I talk to people about workout strategies, I stress 4 components: aerobic exercise. We all know what that is: resistance training, using our muscles and doing some kind of weight training, or again, next week, we're going to talk about lunges and squats and ways we can do resistance training without equipment. The third component I remind people about is the importance of flexibility. So make sure you do some stretching after you're warmed up. And finally, balance. As we age, balance is increasingly important. So I always talk about 4 elements of physical exercise: aerobic, resistance, flexibility, balance. And we'll be introducing you to a nice exercise program with next week's material. Again, I encourage you to remember these messages and understand calorie burn. Remember, it's influenced by a number of factors, but the factor most under your control is the amount of exercise and activity throughout your day. Also, learn to understand your body's messages and practice strategies to control your appetite, and try to stick to a relative calorie budget as you proceed through life and through the Way of Life program. I think it's important to track just so we learn more about our behavior and gain insight and understanding. It's important to maintain accountability, but at the same time, let's balance that with forgiveness. So the core of the Way of Life program is balancing an accountability, but also remembering we're all human and we all make mistakes. And the beauty of being a human being is we can start again tomorrow. Please let us know if you're enjoying this program. Also, feel free to reach out anytime to Be Well Solutions if we can help you in any way. Share your victories, challenges. I'd love to mention some successes during our weekly check-ins. But again, keep the faith, keep it moving, and let us know what we can do to help you on this journey. Until next week, good luck, keep moving, and let us know if you have any questions. Have a great day.